Okay, we are on Module 1, Lesson 6, where we're going to look at comparing fractions or decimals with greater than, less than, or equal to. So we're seeing which one is bigger or smaller. So number one, they're having us compare these two numbers, 16.45 and 16.454. Or 16 and 45 hundredths and 16 and 454 thousandths. Now the reason I have a place value chart here is we're going to fill it in with our numbers so we can stack them on top of each other and make sure they're all lined up, because that's the easiest way to see which one is bigger. So I'm going to start by writing my numbers in my place value chart. So the first one is 16.45 and my second one is 16.454. So I've got these two numbers, and I want to see which one is bigger than the other. So just looking at them, just before I even really investigate, they're both 16. They both are made up of 16 wholes. So they're both kind of equal in terms of there. So we're just really looking at the decimals. We have 45 hundredths and 454 thousandths. Having this blank zero here, or this blank thousandths, kind of makes it a little trickier for us. So let's fill it in with a zero. And now we have numbers in all the spaces so we can compare. We have 450 thousandths compared to 454 thousandths. So if we need to think about this in a different way, think about it like this. The first number is 16 and 450 thousandths compared to the second number, which is 16 and 454 thousandths. So we can kind of think of these as fractions. Which is bigger, 450 thousandths or 454 thousandths? Well, 454 is bigger. 454 is bigger than 450. So I think it's going to go this way. Remember, my crocodile wants to eat the bigger number, or your cookie monster wants to eat more cookies. However you learned it, that sticks with you, but it should be pointing to the smaller number. Another way that you can check your work here is by going through each column. Starting from the left, they both have 110, so they're equal. They both have 6 ones, so they're equal. They both have 4 tenths, so far equal. They both have 5 hundredths, so they're equal. Thousandths is where it's different, 4 and 0. 4 is bigger, so that means this number is bigger. So we hit the first column where there's a difference, and the bigger number wins. So 16.454 or 16 and 454 thousandths is bigger. So this is correct. Let's try again. I have 419.10 comparative 419.099. Let's us fill out our place value chart. So I'm starting with that 419.10, and then my second number, 419.099. Again, I don't like that empty zero, or that empty space, the empty thousand space. So I'm going to fill in with a 0. It makes it easier for me to really compare the numbers. So I've got 419, both those are the same. So the 4s are the same, the 1s are the same, the 9s are the same. When we get to the tenth section, though, we've got differences. We've got a 1 and a 0. Well, what is bigger, 1 or 0? 1 is. So that means this top number is the bigger number. Even though it has less actual digits, decimal digits, it's a 10 versus a 099. That 10 is in a bigger place value. Think about it like a fraction if it's easier for you to see it that way. So it's 419 and 100 thousandths versus 419.99 thousandths. 100 is bigger than 99. Okay, this one looks a little different because this is in word form and this is in standard form. So I need to translate this from word form into standard form. So it's 158 thousandths. 158 thousandths. So think about what that would look like on your place value chart. So we know there's no and in there, so it's not whole numbers, it's all decimal. It's just 158. And it's ending in the thousands place. So that means the 8 should be in the thousands place. So then you've got now 158. And we can put that leading 0 in there to make it nice and clean. So 158 thousandths is 0.158. And I'm comparing it to 0.58. Now if I go column by column, the zeros are the same. Oop, the tenths, I've got a 1 and a 5. The 5 is bigger, so that means our second number is going to be bigger. 58, and we can even fill this in, 580 thousandths is bigger than 158 thousandths for sure. Now our last one is kind of different, but it's really the same. It says arrange the numbers in increasing order. Increasing order means from least to greatest. You want to go up and get bigger. And instead of just comparing two numbers, now you're comparing 4. So we're still going to have a place value chart. And I'm just drawing one today. So we have 8.08. We have 8.081. We have 8.09. And then we have 8.008. So this is just our quick place value chart. Now let's go column by column and really compare. The 8s are all the same. So we're going to basically ignore that. The tenths are all the same. We can ignore that too. The hundredths is where we see differences. We have an 8, an 8, a 9, and a 0. Remember, we're looking at least to greatest. So what is the smallest number here? That's the 0. So that means that number is the smallest number. So that's going to be my first one I write down because it's the least one. So 8.008. That's right there. That's right here. I'm going to cross it off. Now I'm looking for the next smallest number. I have 2 8s and a 9. Well, the 9 is biggest, so that means my biggest number is going to be this one with the 9. But I have to decide between these two with the 8, which one is smaller. So I'm going to continue looking here. Well, this is a blank space, so it's a 0. So which is smaller, 80 or 81? Well, the 0 is smaller than the 1, so that means this one is number 2, 8.08. That's this one. And then my next one is my other 8, so it was 8.081. And then that leaves my last one, my 9, 8.09. It's getting a little messy, but you can see how we use our same strategy of stacking our numbers and comparing them column by column to see what are bigger numbers.